Hi there, I'm Karen Niemla, one of the librarians here at the Hammermill Library. We're going to have a quick look at Nexis Uni, which is one of our databases, and it is a large, complex, multi-use database because it has uh, news information, legal information. It is our best resource for legal information, and it's also one of our best resources for company information. And so you want to start our library website at library.mercyhurst.edu so that you get the correct link that connects to Nexis Uni and lets the company know that your subscription is coming through us. So you can find that under A to Z databases here, or look under Find and then go to A to Z databases or databases A to Z. Then look under N, and Nexis Uni should be here. So it'll connect. There, and then it says access provided by Mercyhurst College, which is actually not our correct name, but we've been doing business with them for a while. I think I may have asked them to change that already, but we'll look into it. So Nexis Uni is a bit different than you might remember because they redid their design over the summer. So if you've used Nexis Uni in the past, it might be a bit different than you remember, but all of the core search resources, I guess you could say, they work more or less the same as they used to. So let's do a quick power search, which searches everything for unpasteurized milk, which is another word for raw milk. There. I'll fix that up real quick and do the search. Okay, so it says here, health alert, more states legalize sale of unpasteurized milk. Unpasteurized milk in the American right. I didn't know that there was a political side to it. More than 24 states have legalized sale of raw, unpasteurized milk. Okay, Meadow Branch Farms. So I'll do a quick copy of that. Now that we have a company name. Raw milk bills proposed. Probe links unpasteurized milk to children's deaths. Okay. Edmonton. I guess this is, oh, it's Canadian. Children being fed unpasteurized milk 3 meals a day. For decades, the school had been milking its own cows. Oh, that's unfortunate. More states legalize sale of unpasteurized milk despite health warnings. And that includes cows, goats, and sheep, because we always assume that milk is cow's milk, but it can also come from goats. Raw milk increases chances of infection by 150 times. So these are all news resources that can tell us what's going on in the world, but can also give us some ideas for specific names to search, or if a legal case is involved, you can look that up as well. This one's from, oh, this is from Puerto Rico. Agriculture reacts. So besides a general search, you can also search for something specific, like you can look for news specifically or company information specifically. Now that company that we copied earlier, we can look for that and see if we can find more info about it. Because this search covers both publicly traded companies, which are usually pretty big, and companies that are smaller, private ones. And although you would think that you'd be able to get like all the information you need from Google, sometimes this information is not published on Google. And so it's nice to be able to have a directory available. So this is in Meadow Branch Farms in Grafton, Illinois. They do have a link here for a business report. Not a ton of information, but it's a small company. So we have telephone number, their Nexis codes, which is how they are categorized, and income statement. So it's a very small business. I guess their annual sales are about 48,000. So it's not like it's $1 million company. And if we look under legal information, we can see some laws and cases involving unpasteurized milk. Oops. There we go. Okay, so we have a lot of legal news, a lot of cases. Some of these actually have an overview on the case so that you can get an idea of what it's about. So this one here says that, let's say, the farmer did not need license to sell milk from farm stand, or did he? Yeah, because he didn't have a license. That's from 2014. The state was not actually stopped from requiring a farmer to obtain a distributor's license under, and then they have a link to the code, as the state veterinarian statement in 2006 that a farmer did not need a license to sell milk for his farm stand on his property was accurate when it was made, and later changed policy did not render the statements misleading or fraudulent. Okay, so this is Maine legislature. The milk distributors shall obtain a license from the commissioner and shall renew the license annually. Okay, so they do need a license to sell milk. Products. Okay. And this one, let's see. Okay, this is a opinion. And I see that there is a link here to the Code of Federal Regulations, and the CFR is sort of the law of land. This is a national law, but there is some debate at the state level whether or not unpasteurized milk can be sold. And in the Code of Federal Regulations, it says that milk needs to be pasteurized, but not only that, they also specify what pasteurization means. So they say it needs to be cooked at a certain temperature for so and so minutes, and that's what pasteurization means. Okay. 52 federal regulations here. Food and Drug Administration is announcing that the requirement that be pasteurized. So, okay. So this has been a debate before, and this was in, I guess, 1987, but it was concluded that pasteurization is needed. I've also read that people who support raw milk think that its vitamin content is affected by sterilization, and there is information that shows that that's not true. Okay, for Strategy is not prohibited under state law from selling raw milk in Pennsylvania, and his operations are permitted to continue in that vein. So I guess this person is allowed to sell it in Pennsylvania, but interstate commerce is a different matter. Cannot be recognized. He fails to recognize the wrongfulness of his conduct. Etc. So there's different perspectives you can use or look at through some of these topics as well. So let's also try a quick search on voluntary sterilization in the news. So I'm aware that this is I think a Brazilian publication, and it seems that there is a minimum age for sterilization, as in they won't let you do it legally unless you're a certain age, and they're going to try to remove the spousal approval requirement. As in, you would need to get your spouse's approval to even get the surgery. Senate reduces minimum age. That again, I think is the Brazilian Senate. But we can also change our geography if we're getting too many foreign news resources, because again, this searches news all over the world. We could maybe specify North America and go to the United States, and then we should be getting less of those Brazilian resources. We saw this this one earlier, and I guess it is true that in the past some people were encouraged to be sterilized against their will, or sometimes forced to be sterilized. And this article also, I think because it was originally a blog, also has hyperlinks to other articles, so we can open those up in a new window if we want to go look at those articles. And so then we get the term here, tubal ligation. So instead of searching for voluntary sterilization, you can also search for tubal ligations, although there are also other terms for the surgeries that can sterilize a person. So if you want to do a search on this subject, you may want to remember other terms that are used to refer to these procedures. So maybe we look for tubal ligations. So we can do a power search for that. Study tubal ligations on the rise. Or we can get tubal ligations following brewing. Number of women having tube ties. Yeah, so I guess that has become more popular recently. This is again okay. There's a different way to search for these by searching for other procedures. And so there's many different ways to search Nexis Uni, and as you may have noticed, it's a pretty complex database. You can probably find information about anything and all kinds of information. So if you need more help searching Nexis Uni, do let me know. And I also recommend playing around with it. Have a nice day.